You're listening to the Coach's Journey Podcast.
So can you just start by sharing what got you into coaching? Because you're coming from a very different field of work, and I'm curious how that happened.
Yeah. So I got into coaching probably officially right around 3 to 4 years ago. Is technically when I started doing my first coaching at my work with some of the members of my team as a manager of engineers. And what kind of sparked that desire to get into coaching was really around seeing people on my team coming into work and looking like they just rolled out of bed, sleep still in their eyes, not a lot of drive or ambition, and just not much enjoyment in general. I want to enjoy as much as I can the moments through my day, my interactions with different people, if that's at work, if that's with friends, right? And so seeing members on my team start coming in, not being excited, and I'm their manager, I took it as kind of my responsibility to support them and get them more excitement and energetic in their life. And at the time, I had actually just started doing some of my own coaching originally with my friend Eric Nelson, and then I started working with Faisal around that same time. And I was really getting more into Brendan Burchard. High performance habits was the framework that I was being introduced to. And so I got the book and I read through some of the habits and just started to, I wasn't certified, right? I wasn't, didn't have a great plan. I just knew, hey, there's these core high performance habits, right? Clarity, productivity, courage, influence, energy are the main ones. And I just kind of sat down with my engineer one of my days in a one-on-one. And I was like, hey, did you know, like, the number one high performers in the world just work on these habits, and it helps them grow in all areas of their life and find joy and excitement and fulfillment. And I was like, first off, like, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish here with this company in your life? And he was kind of like, usually we just talk about work, right? Today I'm talking about him. And so we started talking about it and then identified some goals that he had. And then I was like, awesome. So what's holding you back right now? What are the areas you want to grow to get there? And we just started talking about these different habits, and we started doing just mini conversations on courage, how we could be more courageous, influential. And I started doing those with a bunch of members on my team week after week. And after a few weeks, there was like a noticeable shift in how my teammate members were showing up to work, more energy, more excitement. People in the office were starting to notice what's going on here. Like he's really picked it up. And that just gave me so much joy. And like, I was just so excited to see them kind of finding their path and figuring out what they did want to go accomplish and helping them get there. It just fired me up so much. I was like, okay, I'm like, how do I do more of this? Like, I want to keep coaching more people because it just lit me up. And it's something for a long time that I needed myself. But yeah, so that's really what got me coaching originally. And so then I started coaching some people. I started getting more interested in high performance myself, even more so when I started working with Faisal. And I actually started doing some real estate investing. And that's when I was kind of like, why am I spending my time on this when I want to just go all in on coaching? And so I did make that shift all into coaching. It was around, I want to say early at the end of last year is when I actually Faisal introduced me to the Coaching Mastery Community, CMC. And that's where I'll say the wheels started to kind of catch traction quite a bit. And ultimately in CMC, you're coaching with other coaches, getting feedback on your coaching, you're getting coached, you're going through, master classes on marketing, on sales, on how do we find the clients and how do we move our business forward. And before being part of that community, it was kind of like, I'm not sure how to go about this. I don't know how to do this, what are best practices. And I just didn't feel like I had a method that worked, and it was just difficult to have confidence in any action to take for myself. I just wasn't sure. And I didn't even know how good I was at coaching. It's one thing to coach someone at work that works for me and I have a relationship with them already. It's another thing to meet with someone that I don't know that well, that potentially I'm asking them for money now, And there's this expectation that really we want results. And that shift really scared me and made me uncomfortable. And am I good enough for this? Can I actually make the difference that I made for those others with someone I don't know that well that I need to get to know? And I was like, man, I need to get better at coaching. And that's where CMC really helped pull that out of me, give me experience, hands-on time working with other coaches, getting feedback. And I've felt my coaching skill like has just massively, I'll call it like blossomed, has grown so much over the last 9 months. And it got me inspired to actually go get CHPC certified. So I'm a certified high performance coach now, which happened back in, I think, July.
Yeah, congratulations on that. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was also an amazing additional step to have a framework really that I can use. But between applying that in CMC and seeing some people that I'm working with now, other business owners, other coaches in CMC, seeing them really starting to take action and get tangible results directly based on sessions we've had, it's so much fun. So that's kind of just been the high level last few years, I guess I'll say, for me.
Awesome. So it's a journey of, I'm a recipient of coaching and I see its power. I can implement it in the life I already have at work. And then you started seeing success in that. And then you just got hungrier for more of that. And so then you are like, okay, well, let's just go all in on coaching and let's figure out how I can do more of that. So then you join CMC, the community of other coaches, and you had an opportunity to coach other coaches and get feedback, which made you even more confident, because now this is now a third area of your life in which you're implementing some coaching and you're seeing the results. And now you're actually also reaching out to people that aren't at work, that aren't other coaches, and you're starting to see some benefits and there as well.
Yeah. No, yeah. Great overview. Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing quite a bit of, outreach, individual one-on-one kind of touch base. Hey, can I support you? Hey, and other things around research calls has actually been the strategy I've been using the most recently, which I've been loving. And if you want me to give an overview of that briefly?
Yes, absolutely.
But before we go there, though, I want to highlight a couple of things because it's important to highlight here. One, I really want to honor you, Alec, being on this journey, because Alec is a perfect model of what it takes to be a really good coach, and I consider Alec to be a really good coach, even though he's just gotten certified, even though he's just jumped into the business world. The thing that makes him really good is not necessarily because he just jumped in. It's because he's gone through about 2.5 years of coaching himself. He's gone through that journey. He's pushed himself to levels that he might have not been able to do on his own. And that's the whole process of that. And I've watched his journey for these 2 years, the areas that he had to go into, even though on his own he did a lot. But then within the coaching process, there were areas he went into that he wouldn't have gone through. And this is the differentiating factor, I would say, for a lot of coaches, that if you've gone through a process yourself, one, you understand the value deeply. And two, so it helps you understand that, hey, this is going to help this person a lot because it helped me quite a bit through that process. And that was one of my initial convictions, was that I hadn't coached a lot of people, but I knew that I was coached. I was like, holy, if I can replicate this with one other person, this will really take them to the next level. That would override a lot of my insecurities, some of the skill sets that I needed to build, a lot of the other things that I had to do. And it helped me keep going forward. So I wanted to really highlight that for those coaches who are listening to this and they haven't gotten the support that they need. Go get it. Get a coach for yourself. Join a community that gives you coaching. Join us. Join Coaching Mastery community. But even if you don't join us, get your coach at whatever level. Even Rich Ledvin says, get the coach that you can afford until you can afford better coaches as you move forward. And that's been my journey too, is that I've been able to gain more resources, more and in terms of developing my business, I've hired more and more coaches, but there is usually an initial investment that you put in any path that you go on. That's just the nature of that. So I really want to celebrate you on the path that you're on, because you've done a lot of the work yourself and now you're supporting others to do that work.
Yeah. Well, thanks for pointing that out, Faisal. I think that is really important.
Yeah. That's yeah, that's a great call out. And just to like put an exclamation point on that too, I really started getting into personal development for myself and understanding and reading leadership books, podcasts, psychology, neuroscience books. Like I was getting really into that when I was around 22, 23 years old is when I was like, this is super interesting to me. And I love how it like everyone's kind of my brain's a puzzle and how can I figure out the best way to, optimize it and think about interacting with others and leadership. And that was when I was like 23. And I just started doing coaching officially like 2 to 3 years ago, and I'm 30 now. So there was about a 5 or so year window where I was constantly consuming personal development material, constantly living with good friends who are also high performers. And we were constantly chatting about things at work, talking about the books we're reading for like 5 years straight of nonstop, like mini masterminding personal development. And I grew during that time, absolutely. But when I got a coach, like even with everything I did before, there was just a whole nother level of growth that like exploded through after that, where how that coach could help ask the right questions, get me thinking about the right things, helping me see these blind spots that me and my buddies, I mean, we never got to those things, or I could never find them that way. Even me personally journaling for years, so much more was found and insights and other ways to look at the world and urgency added on, hey, what am I passionate about, and getting more connected to that. Like that all came through the coaching journey of me working with Eric and then Faisal and now in CMC. And it's just been getting even better. So I do really want to call out that importance of getting a coach. I thought I was doing so much before, and I was, but it still took me to another level. So like Faisal mentioned, if there's a way that you can get connected with a coach, whatever that looks like for you right now, being a part of getting coached when you're pursuing coaching, I think is extremely necessary and critical for your perspective and for your growth. So yeah, I just want to add to that.
You're listening to the Coach's Journey podcast.